This is something I want to display.
It feels like a rifle bolt that changes gears.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
Bolt action. Huh?
Bolt action. It's just clunk, clunk. A lot of center return spring. It just. Clunk.
Yeah.
I did a lot of research.
Now we're live.
The only other shifters that were really available, there's the Barton.
There you go.
And there's the...
Can somebody pull it up on the phone just to test on here real quick? Because I don't have this mic set up on here the right way. So
everyone complained about the Hearst because the Hearst would rattle, because it was real loose. The tolerance was real sloppy on it.
Yeah, we're having
new laptop.
Oh, are we live?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it.
A little delay.
Yeah.
And the Barton was way more money. The Barton was like $450. Oh.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. We got audio.
Okay. All right. Sorry, guys.
We're
different laptop, different everything, and also
That's
there's
my
going to be a
fault.
delay on.
Well, same model laptop, so it does the job
Except
better
that
than
one-
the little laptop.
Except that one sounds like my first Xbox. And
Oh yeah,
sounds
this
like
thing.
a jet
You
taking
see the
off.
buttons? How they're all worn.
okay.
I mean-
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw the Razor thing, I thought it said Brazzers.
Well, it's owned by a teenager.
That's
so-
why I had to
But
place the keys.
and I've had this laptop. We've had for since before Pints and Pistons was a thing. Like right when this thing was brand spanking new.
Yeah.
And it suffered through times and turmoils of a teenager.
Yeah.
And soda and dropping it and everything. And
Lots of
It's
browsers.
it's almost the exact
Lots of
same problem as
browsers.
mine. Mine has been dropped. It's been outside. It's been used as Pints and Pistons laptop. It sat in a shop.
it's the Asus Tough Book, man. Like I'm not like that kind of person, but like I'm gonna plug it. Like if you want like a laptop, it's like a Nextel phone. The Asus Tough Book, man, does it. Just saying, it's like it's been through some abuse. But anyway, hello guys.
Hi.
We're Pints and Pistons +1.
Yes, we have
Yeah,
Jason.
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 Well, because he showed up to the car show as we were leaving, and he's like, "What? I'm pulling up, so you're leaving?" I'm like, "Just show up to the house." Like, sorry.
Almost.
You barely
Almost.
made that, man. You barely made that. Do you just
We
want to go into the first game?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Bring
let's
out.
do that.
Do his
Oh, Chris.
because mine's only
turn us
4-pack.
on.
So
Left side of the.
we are now
Yeah,
live. There we go.
live.
Now it's
Should
official.
have put the official sign on.
So earlier we had a little bit of we had car fun earlier.
Yep, there were shenanigans.
Yeah, we drove all the cars.
Shenanigans and other.
These two got a feel for the newly revived 8.6,
Oh, that thing is so good.
isn't it though?
It's so
Definitely
good.
for an easy, nice going, like, neighborhood cruise at like sub 30 mile an hour. It was great. There was nothing
Brian, we're going to do yours first.
nothing degenerate involved in either cruise. It was a fantastic, easy time. Mexico was partially involved, but not completely. So, it was nice. It was a cruise.
Don't worry about it.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. You got
Positive?
4.
We
You
could-
guys know what's reviewing.
No,
because
we can
we're-
split them up.
I'm just consuming.
Hey, we'll split some
we're
up, man.
splitting.
I ain't reviewing it. I'm just consuming it.
Oh, well, you're
Well,
gonna
I'll
get
tell you if it's nasty or not.
exactly. So found this one last weekend, and this is from Three Sons Brewing Company, and it is McCrory's Irish Red Ale.
Where is this brewery at?
Good question. Oh, right here on the side.
I was going to say, even if you want to just do a half, I'll finish it.
Yeah.
East Florida.
Okay, so are we having a battle now? Is it three sons versus 3 daughters?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Is that what's happening?
But
I'm
also,
curious.
I feel kind of bad because our really good friends, Celtic Conundrum, are currently playing on the other side of the county.
I still have something.
And
Yeah,
it was because...
Paige told me about it, and I was
Yeah,
like,
and we really
"Oh."
wanted to go, but it was also
We're
Pints
still
Fist
talking
tonight,
to you.
and we also totally forgot about it.
Some in there.
But if you guys are in the Chris River area,
Go
shut
see
us-
Celtic Conundrum.
Yeah, shut
Go
us
check out
off
Celtic
and go to
Conundrum.
Kelly's
Do you have any
Shell.
read-in or this or anything?
And not for nothing, Kelly's Half Shell is not your average pub. They have like amazing food.
And also good
And,
seafood. Like, their oysters are amazing, and I don't even like oysters.
When we do seafood nights, it's funny because like we have seafood designated restaurants here in town that are fantastic, and I will grade fantastically being somebody who loves food and cooks.
Yeah.
Kelly's seafood is just better than everywhere else.
So you literally
Everything
have
they
the places that are on the water that the boats pull up to and give you
Kelly's
this stuff.
pub is
And
just
yeah,
better.
Yeah.
And they have an amazing beer selection.
very nice.
Celtic and
Yeah,
underplaying
very
tonight,
nice
so.
place. And
I think I had one of the best burgers I've ever eaten at Kelly's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
had a
was it
Wagyu
Wagyu
burger.
burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
All right.
good. But all right.
no
let's
reading.
say, yeah,
so-
well, yeah, we're Pints and Pistons, and
Hold on.
there's extra people.
While we
for
toast our
vacation.
beer, we've had a little bit of automotive news that is kind of toast-worthy and a little bit sad at the same time. Marcel Gandini,
Yes.
chief stylist at Lamborghini, who penned the Mira, the Countach, and the whole 9 yards, passed away this week.
Cheers in Italian to you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Salute.
Salute.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Oh, oh, it's so good.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
Oh, it's so good.
Ooh.
It's so good.
What,
I'm mad.
what is it supposed
I'm
to
mad. No.
It's supposed
No.
to be red?
Yeah.
Please don't be this good.
That's almost like a.
Please don't be this good. Don't. No. No. You can't.
Are you afraid? Are you afraid of it? Top.
Yes. Yes.
Now, spite me if you will, or smite me rather, I guess. If Yingling made a red that was lagery, like a Yingling red,
Yeah. I
yeah,
understand what you're saying.
yeah, you get what I'm saying? But smooth.
I know
this
what
is
you're about to say.
fantastic.
McGorry's. Excuse me, McGorry's.
God damn, that finish is perfect.
It's refreshing. It's got the little sweetness to it.
It's not a full red.
It's not a heavy red.
No, it's not.
It's actually very light.
It is.
I'm okay with that. This makes me think of what you've described to me.
Red
the
light return.
Red light return.
That's what it
light
is.
return.
That's
Okay,
kind
no,
of
no,
what
the,
it
the
is.
red light
No,
return
no,
is much more red though.
No.
No, red.
No, right
No,
return.
the red light return.
Mm-mm. It was this color.
No, but like the taste, like I don't know how to describe that part of the taste.
Now, like
Because
I said,
we've
red
only
light
tried
return,
it from a
See,
one glass
red-
that Brian
red-
accidentally got.
Yeah, red
ri-
light return.
Red light return is the red.
Right. and
Red
then
light return is a Bach.
Oh.
So it
okay.
basically it was very
So I
very
remember
similar
the-
to
I
red
remember
light
the
return, but
flavor.
it was like red light return turned down a couple of notches. This is almost like Robonaut red with less hoppy, with less hop finish.
And that was the first thing I thought because that
Yeah.
instant flavor was Robonaut Red, which is my favorite. Like, not
It's-
even
it's- it's
red.
almost like- it's
my
almost like a
favorite
Smithwick's light.
beer that we have had out of
Kinda.
all these.
Yeah, it's like a Smittix light.
Kinda.
It is absolutely on par with Brewbus.
See, I think it's past
It's
Blue Red
it's
because
it's on par with Roland Dirty.
well,
for
you're
sure.
Rolling
that's still
Duty
my
was,
favorite.
was yours. See,
Well, that's a
the
big
Robonaut.
call right there. That's a
the-
big call right
Well,
there.
see, the Robonaut Red was my favorite. I mean, Rolling Dirty was like just right before it, but the Robonaut Red was my favorite, and this is oh god, it's right there with it.
So where is Dania Beach?
Yeah, where is Dania Beach?
Good question.
Dania or Dania?
Dania.
We're finding out right
I don't
now.
know.
Is it in
Like I've never
Florida?
heard of that
Dania
beach
Beach.
before.
Yeah, it's in
Dania
Florida.
Beach.
Where does it say that? Oh, right there.
It's close.
Oh, it's
Is
only
it?
So good.
God,
No, it's not. My
Oh.
phone based me off another location.
This is
So, Dania Beach is like literally maybe 5 to 15. No, yeah, like about 15 miles south of Fort Lauderdale.
Oh.
By Hollywood.
Okay,
Oh.
just down there a while.
Yeah.
So on them fancy Hollywood beers.
yeah. No, this is
Fancy
oh,
Hollywood out there.
Dania Beach.
It tastes good.
God, no, that
This came from
Total Wine
Total Wine up
in
in
Gainesville.
Okay.
But yeah, no, like we've
I
got
may
3
have to
sons
make
and
it
3
for-
daughters now,
yeah.
both Florida breweries. Like
this is making me
They get
want
married.
to make a
They
trip
could be
and buy a
7
couple
brides
four-packs.
and 7
Right.
Right?
This is like I need this in my fridge
Yes.
all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, this is good. I kind of wish I'd gotten another one
This
back
is
now.
a legit like return by type of beer.
That's definitely really good.
It's one of those for a while I've like not bought fancier beers but it's one of those like no I'll
Yeah.
go spend $80 and get a 12.
Well, like I said,
18 pack of
the
this.
weather is starting to get warm in Florida again. Warm
But
for us.
even with this,
So
this is
I was
not
like, I don't know, not feeling the red right now with the weather turning and everything else. But I saw it on the shelf, and I've been hunting for an Irish Red up there for 3 or 4 months now, and finally had another one, so I grabbed it.
yeah, but with how light it is, also this is perfect for spring. This
Yeah.
is a perfect spring beer.
Yeah,
Well, it's got a good, nice Irish sounding name.
It
So
does.
It should be.
It does.
Man, this thing does yell though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that is a.
It is. I'm like, I think I might try to figure out how to make that quiet.
No. Just leave it because if you do something, we'll end up.
Yeah, because right now everything's working.
It is working amazingly.
Yeah, so just don't.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
It's probably the amount of Mountain Dew inside of it.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
We'll call it. Yeah.
We're not the government. We're not going to take the stance of if it ain't broke, fix it till it is.
So before we go on to anything, well, you missed it last time. So Mike ended up having his what was
Gallbladder.
it? Gallbladder out and all that. He ended up having the drain put in. He had that removed. All the staples were removed. He's on the mend now. He's
Nice.
doing great.
So he was home quickly in the whole 9
Yep.
yards.
Wait,
Awesome.
Did you say he's on the mend?
Yeah.
Was there a hammer involved?
Well, they removed his gallbladder and then the drain had to be put in.
Well, if there wasn't a hammer, he's not truly mended.
They might have
Jeremy
because
Clarkson would
you know.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they had to break into the drawer of Jeremy to fully
Yeah.
fix him, but
True.
But-
well, no, I'm glad
But
he's in
he's
recovery.
doing good. He's home. He's healing good. We were messaging back and forth. I believe today, and then asked him how he was doing. Doing
Good.
great. All this shit's been pulled out. Now he's just on regular, just healing.
yep,
He's good.
no lifting
So-
heavy things, just
Yep.
chilling out and
Yep.
taking everything
So,
easy.
Our number one fan.
Good for him.
Yay,
Awesome.
Mike.
Yes.
You don't need your gallbladder.
You don't, not really.
Yeah, you just shit every 15 minutes.
Don't you already?
Yeah, and I still have mine. Imagine if I took
Yeah,
it
I
out.
don't have mine, and I'm fine.
Imagine if I
Just
took
go
it
in
out.
your mouth and out.
Exactly. I'll just take the food and throw it on the ground. Like,
Skip the middle.
yeah.
At that part, you'd be Martha Stewart eating a turkey.
True. Yep. I know what you were putting out there. Also, since last episode, the 86 is fully fixed.
It runs, it drives.
Actually, it drives genuinely very well.
So
for
last
the car.
episode,
Age and
that
stereo,
day
that
I
goes
ended
like
up
that.
picking up the new drum and the new shoes. The next day, I ended up doing everything. Disconnected the e-brake, got everything put together. Went, okay, let's go. Hopefully it works. And it does.
And I get a random text message going, "Holy crap, it works!"
And since then, since last week, I've put just about 200 miles on that car, which in almost 11 years, I've only put 4,000 miles on that car. So,
It's got
Yeah.
And
It's a good
800
percentage.
of those were burnout
burnouts.
miles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
there you go.
and like he was saying, he let us all take it out for a nice leisurely, easy cruise tonight. So it survived
It
everyone.
did great. It made it to Foxes in the Forest. I did have to stop on the side of the road twice for
Of course.
a fix.
goes
and
without
that.
saying.
But, so the 40-minute drive up there took
an hour and a half.
No, it took about almost 2 hours. We left at 7 o'clock. We were supposed to be there. They were starting parking at 8. We didn't make it until 9. But we made it. We
It was all
made it.
good.
Not on a flatbed. We didn't need a tow truck. We made it on our own power, and we made it home on our own power.
Yep.
Nice.
Well,
I'm
the point
excited.
deductions are only for if the hood was lifted. Did you lift the hood?
No, I took apart the center console in the middle
The
of the
bonnet has not
Nope.
been up.
Yep. No,
not
literally
wrong.
the center console came out 4 times while driving. yeah. But we made it.
I mean, that's on point for that car.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
so it
we
is.
made it. It did great.
But yeah, Chris and Dan both had a chance to get reacquainted with T5 life. Get somebody.
Just doing the best he can.
But one of the great things, I got to give it out to the South Florida Fox Body Club. I believe that was their full name. They were the ones that put on this Foxes in the Forest. They got with NPD. They're trying to make it a yearly thing, kind of like how, because right after we had, currently going on right now is Ponies and Smokies, and at which the lead person from that was actually at the show there and gave away a show spot, like one of the VIP show spots where you're like in like full air conditioning and all
Yeah.
that. Also, we also had Motor City Fox thing up in Detroit. One of their representatives were down and gave away a spot for that. But it was one, I think 85 Fox bodies we had. It was 85 Fox because we totaled 90. It was 85 Fox bodies and 5 SM95 cars.
Which are basically Fox bodies.
Yeah, but they weren't allowed to park with us. But everybody there was
Segregationists.
yeah. Everybody there was absolutely amazing. I actually made a bunch of new friends. Everybody was wonderful. We got to tour
people like
the
them.
full NPD collection, and my favorite thing was the fact that Sabrina has not been in the NPD collection. That was her first time.
Did it land on you? Is a huge
Yeah.
beetle.
Big ass beetles.
It is a big old beetle.
Sorry. We're
No.
Florida.
He said good night.
Anyway, Sabrina, that was the first time Sabrina had ever been into the NPD collection, and so we walked down, we turned left, and she started to see some of the things. Before you go through the double doors, you started to see some of the things. She's like, wow, there's so many, like, I'm like, just wait. We walked through the door. She's like, wow, why is there so many cameras? And I'm like, that's her Kodak collection. And then all of a sudden she turned, she's like, this is big. I'm like, so I'm like, you see that corner back there? Like, yeah. I'm like, those people back there. And we spent a full hour and a half just going down
Yeah.
all the aisles. And like she said, she's like, this is curated really well of the fact that it goes from the oldest,
To the newest.
goes down, you turn right, you come back down, then you turn left, you go up, then you turn right, you go back down, then you have just a solid Mustang section that does the same thing. It's oldest to newest. And then you go in the back and you have some of the weird fucking concept shit and all that. Now they have a RV back there
Oh, that was not
With
there
a-
the last time we were
with
there.
a drum set up. I don't know why, but it's just
Because.
there. Also
Owned by
have
like a famous band. Or
I don't
something
know.
Like that?
I don't know. There was no signage, but it
There's
was there.
the tempo styling exercise
But-
car that was supposed to be crushed by Ford. It isn't. It's an MPD.
Literally says in the windshield this car shouldn't exist. But just also the fact that she pointed out the 78 Lincoln Mark, what was it, Mark 5. Every single color combo. And I believe this is newer to their edition because I don't remember these.
No, I remember the Continental Mark
No,
IIs that
no.
were there and the Continental Mark IIIs. I don't remember the Mark Vs.
I'm serious about 15 to 20 of those Mark 5s.
But I mean,
Every single.
when was the last time that you and I were in the museum for
Last time I
for the
went
Silver
in
Spring
there?
runs? It was
No, not even that. Last time I was in there was probably, well, it was before me and Sabrina, so 13, 14 years ago.
okay, because I was in there the day before the last Silver Spring show because I went on the
Yeah, the
NPD
Friday.
Pony run. I went on the Friday run with my car, and then the next day I took the 98
Yeah.
to the show, and that was the last time. Whatever year that was the last time I was in
But
to see the
they,
collection.
they literally had 15 to 20 Mark 5s, every single color combo. And she's like, why are there so many Lincoln Continentals? And I'm like,
If you get a
they're
chance to go
awesome.
to that place and check it out, you should definitely.
That's what I've seen on
Yeah.
YouTube videos. Either Jay Leno or Dennis Gage did
Dennis
one.
Gage.
Dennis
Yeah,
Gage.
he did the one with
Dennis
the
Gage.
Lincoln.
Has done, Dennis Gage has done a
Yep.
lot of stuff with.
And which
with
we
MPD,
ended
yeah.
up me and I ended up me and Dennis Gage at one when Tom brought Sudden Death
Yeah.
to the Silver Spring show. And that was I got to meet one of my childhood idols because I grew up watching my classic car.
Yeah.
And I finally got to meet him and I was like, I finally got to meet Dennis Gage.
Remember, honor the timeless classics.
Uh-huh.
There was a for you Ford geekers, Ford GT at the local
Mhm.
Ford dealership getting a service done.
Which
Was it the one
generation?
that had a
Red
well
04, 05.
Okay,
that
still super cool.
DeLorean guy.
The car.
That used to go up to cruisers that had DeLorean and always talk about his Ford GT and I'm like, yeah, no, you don't have a Ford GT, and all of a sudden he showed up in the Ford GT.
Well, there was two guys that
Was
showed
it
up. With
red? Well, this one like
It was red
I-
with white stripes. It was the old like that.
the wheels had so much brake.
Yep.
Okay, there was two.
So
Ford,
much
there was
brightness.
two.
The rest of
different-
the car was clean.
There was two red, white stripe Ford GTs
Like,
that
I
showed
don't
up at
wheels.
Wendy's, and one of them was the guy you're talking
I
about.
have a piece of shit. Like,
Another one was a guy who
But that
tried to
car,
say
like,
that his car was all
there was
super
so much
modded,
brightness. The chrome
It
was
was completely
tinted
stock.
brown.
and we looking at it, and
Bad.
like not a bolt had been turned on that thing.
Yeah.
But he was like, he was a real prick about it.
Yeah.
Because he saw Brett's car, and he was like, hey man, he was like, I'll trade you straight up, and Brett just blew his mind, like, nah. But no, but like I said,
Technically.
it's a 4GT. It's freaking cool. You don't have to bullshit everybody trying to tell them that you've modded the crap out of it when it's bone ass stock.
Yeah,
You can look in there and
Even
see
then,
that
it's
never,
really
no
cool.
fastener has been turned since it was put on.
And there's a window.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Question
There's a
Brett
window.
on that kind of though.
Well, he didn't have
Value-wise,
He had the rear hatch
money
open.
wise,
You could look in there and see.
Brake dust covered GT's
Yeah.
probably
Like-
worth 300, 6
Oh
figures.
yeah,
You know?
Still.
But no,
They're
it was a really good show. Like I said, everybody was absolutely amazing. One of the guys was the DJ for the show, and he was set up in the actual collection. He got the Parker's Car collection because he was a DJ, and he was actually spinning vinyl, and it was all just 80s and early 90s. He was doing box body rad era, but actually spinning two vinyls at the same time, going from a crate moving over something else. Like it was awesome. And then the giveaways, like, so if you brought a Fox body, you got a raffle ticket, and like that's the only, you couldn't buy into it. That was the only way you got it. The cheapest thing they gave away was, it had to have been a $150 oil change plus
Trans
whatever
fluid.
trans fluid you use. So it was, you got your oil, your synthetic motorcraft oil, your motorcraft filter, whatever transmission you had, if you had an automatic or if you had manual, you got that, and you got whatever filter you needed for that. That was the cheapest thing they gave away. You had 2 full pipes, catback systems. Then you had TPI carpet for whatever vehicle you had. Door panels, TPI door panels for whatever car you had.
Weather strip kit.
Yeah, weather strip. Not only like the windows, the doors, the full windshield, the back, whatever you had, you got a full car weather strip kit for. Then you also had Stiflers had the subframe connectors, lower A arms, rear and upper control arms, and there was a couple other things just depending on what car you had, and it was, you got a certificate, and it was, you talked to the NPD people and this is what it was, and they shipped it to you. And there was,
What'd you get?
good. I was one off. I was
Oh.
251. They called 250, and I would have gotten brand new door panels, and I really don't want because I wanted those new door panels, because I would have taken those new door panels and cut the holes to put speakers in the doors and
Yes.
get the original ones and put them in the fucking garage. But yeah, no, it was really good. Matt, who is the head guy that does the Fox Body, the SN95 and New Edge stuff for NPD, he was there. He lives in Ocala. I friended him on Facebook. He was the one that put it all on, and yeah, they actually just today dropped a brand new NPD exclusive and tooling, all of the trim for T-top cars.
Oh wow.
I just saw that popped up on my Facebook.
Yeah, well, I posted about it
I
too,
saw you when you
and
posted
that
that,
they're the only company that
That has
has.
it, yeah.
It's not only like all the trim, also all the brackets and the latches themselves.
Yeah.
No one else does it, and it's the proper grain, the proper color, texture, everything. And
So
they're-
it's basically Scott Drake level parts.
Yep.
So, what do you got in car news?
Oh, how many Cybertrucks I saw in that parking lot! Saw 2 of them go by.
I've only seen the one.
You saw that one that my coworker saw too. The black one
I saw
towing the
one
boat.
in Ocala over by the airport, a Cybertruck coming down 60th on my way to work the other day.
The one I saw had a very terrible flat black, maybe paint job. It looked terrible. Looked awful.
It's probably a crappy
But it
wrap,
was-
but
it
it probably
was
looks
towing-
better. It looks better than the rust stains.
Yeah,
But it was
well,
towing the boat.
But like the thing was, is the shade of black it is.
What? Too soon?
Yeah.
As
Like
I was
the
going
rock?
down the road, there's this weird like pixel shape approaching me, and I'm like,
It's bigger
What
than
the
I
hell?
What
thought.
I saw was like the stainless steel DeLorean kind of
yeah,
color.
this one was black, and it just looked like a weird shadow, and it was
Yes.
square and angled and towing a big
This
ass
texture
boat.
has not loaded yet.
No, it was so weird. And I was like, oh, it's a Cybertruck.
Rendering
And I was
layer.
Yes.
And then it got close to like, oh, Ooh.
but it's
That's a Cybertruck.
bigger than I thought.
Yeah, I think it's pretty big though.
Looking at it, so the
probably
first
the
one
size like the Rivian SUV.
Yeah,
I'd say.
yeah.
It is.
So the first one I saw drive by was actually driving, and I was in the middle of a conversation with probably like 8 other people, and all of a sudden, middle of the conversation, I'm like, Cybertruck, and they all turned, and we all just stopped and were watching, like, wow, haven't even seen, and this was people from Miami. They're like, we haven't even seen one either. And then 10 minutes later, Tesla, it was a regular semi-truck pulling a bunch of Teslas, hanging off the back. Another Cybertruck. That's when I tested. I saw a second one.
Huh.
And then you ended up saying about the black one, and I got to work the next day, and I'm like, oh, like, yeah, I saw a Cybertruck because my coworker was actually in that backed up traffic. That he's like, hey, I saw you standing near your car I was stuck in traffic on 75. He's like, but once we got home, he's like, I saw a black Cybertruck. I'm like, I saw 2 of them, and that was the same one. I'm like, was it pulling a boat? He's like, yep. I'm like, yep, that's the one Dan saw.
I have not yet seen one.
So they do come in other colors.
No.
I don't know.
No,
This one,
no.
like I said, like
They
it
don't.
looked. No, and
They get
this,
it wrapped or painted or
Yeah.
something.
it must have been wrapped, but like it wasn't.
Not well.
It wasn't dirty. It was like the black wasn't even.
Hey,
It
well,
was
there's
I don't know how to
another
describe.
one.
It didn't look good.
And it was probably just a cheap wrap.
It probably was.
So I ended up seeing on our Citrus County word of mouth, one at one of the Wawa stations that it's in our county that has a full-on bullhorns across the front of it.
That's
Full
not.
on.
That's
It's
on a
a 70,
Cybertruck?
77 Eldorado bullhorns.
just to let you know that's not here. That's somebody.
Are you sure? Because it looked like ours at that one corner.
It's a post that's been going around. And
Kind of like the Tiger.
Kind of like the tiger. The tiger's not actually here. That people keep saying is in the Ocala National Forest. It's that kind of same thing.
The King Cobra still is out there. That
that
one's still out there. That's a real
somebody
thing.
still posts on that Facebook page, the Ocala Cobra, every now and again, just to let you know. Yeah, nobody ever caught the Cobra. That was that big. And
that was a real thing. That was a real thing. That was actual, like, guys say.
You know, that just sparked a memory, Dan. Whatever happened to our You On Here Bitch Florida edition page?
It died.
It still has a shit ton of
Does
people
it?
on there, but y'all don't post to it.
I
It
made
doesn't
it.
even show up in
I
the
made it. I made that page.
I know.
I just,
and then my
like,
cousin joined
I
it and he
abandoned
sent
it.
me shit and I'm like, yeah, no, that's Dan. That's Dan. It had 180 something fucking followers.
More than
I
that.
don't know if you
No,
guys talked
180
about
something
this before.
thousand.
Yeah.
You see the new release for the Chargers and stuff like that. The electric.
So that's another thing that we wanted to talk
Oh,
about.
well, no, I'm good with talking about the dang old 6-pack.
So
Yes.
I really like this straight 6 twin turbo. What is it? Hurricane
6.
Hurricane 6.
Yeah, the
Because
really
it's 500
yeah,
something
no,
more.
no. That's the performance crate engine that you can buy. That's not actually coming in the car yet. However, it is the fact that they're calling it 6-pack.
It's the play
It's the play on words.
There's big quotes.
Using the
It's
nostalgia.
like this is like
But
the
it's
Maverick
the old-
again.
But
Yeah.
6-pack was
It's the
the
big-
the
the
three
play
by
on-
the 3 2-barrel carbs
Yeah.
on the 440s and Hemis.
It's a marketing edge towards
Mike!
Hello, buddy. It's a marketing edge towards
Wow, overtaking,
passing.
overtake.
I got a Cummins and all legally passing dang on double yellow.
Come here. There you go. On camera.
Look at him.
Ah.
What a dick. What a dick.
Sorry, guys. we're finally
Anyway.
And he's
on
just
camera.
about, I mean, that's not far from being a blind crest right over there, too.
Yeah, it is, right?
But it's a play on, whatever, I guess is it the boomer generation?
Pretty much.
I guess.
I think it's them
I
really.
think it's even older than that, but
No,
No,
it is.
no,
That's the thing, it's like,
boomers were buying those cars
it's
new.
them trying to appeal to that.
oh, boomers, yeah. I'm thinking,
It's them
Oh,
trying
no,
to
not X, that's
appeal to
X.
that
No,
time
we
frame.
were
so,
kids
Yes.
when those
Yeah.
cards came out
Yeah.
back then.
You know, if we tell you guys that it's a 6-pack like you knew back in the day, you'll want to come buy this 6-pack,
Because they
right?
don't dump a fucking Coke bottle.
because they know those
in
people
the
aren't, don't
fucking
really want
parking
the
lot.
electric. They
Not
still
gonna
want
dump
some.
They
Coke
still want
in
some
with a
gas,
ball
and this is
ball
the
man.
outlet.
This is the
No,
outlet.
We
Exactly.
said no V8s, but
Hey.
we didn't say no gas.
Brian,
Yeah.
what did I say at Cruisers?
Jumping can.
Yeah,
Jumping
but
Coke
he
can.
said 4-volt main. I'm like, no.
2-volt main.
2-volt.
No, 4-volt main better.
I know, but my 2-volt main with, a 650 double pump around
Yeah,
there. and I
Fobo
had
got
to
2
take-
more bolts.
Yeah, but I jump a Coke can. Yeah, if you hit the parking curb on it, yes, you could jump a Coke can. Of course, because
But,
it's the fucking whoop, jump.
Hey,
Not the Holly Finn
I will
video with
say
the ball ball.
I am excited for the drivetrain, to be honest. Not branded that way.
Yeah.
Just like how the Maverick happened. I was very excited about the Maverick and about what it brought and everything towards the
I
current car
finally-
market. I wasn't excited about how it got marketed.
I finally
This is kind of
saw
the same
one
way, like-
modified here in
I
this
agree.
county.
Really?
Turning on from 44 to Crop. I was at the light at Crop leaving work.
Ye
and
old Maverick
And yeah, and it
of
turned.
the front
And
wheel drive.
it was a
four-cylinder truck?
2-liter front wheel drive, slammed on the sprawls, blow off valve. I heard it and I was like, "What?" And I waved. He smiled and waved and got onto it. And I'm like, "Yep, no, that sounds exactly like my car." And I'm like, "He's doing it the way that I want to do it, except
Well, that
it
was
wasn't
like
a manual. If
I-
you can find
I
a manual one of those, like
somebody
you're,
with a
you're-
modified Mustang EcoBoost in traffic, and it was all like, "Oh, I
It
heard the
sounds
blow
so
up valve
familiar.
and the turbo," and I'm like, "Oh, that's great."
It sounds so familiar.
The problem is it doesn't sound like the right familiar. It's the EcoBoost, and
Yeah.
then the guy like got on it going away, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, they do not sound
It
good.
sounds
They
like-
don't. They
And
sound like
Mike, I love you. I'm like, that sounds like Mike's car. I'm like, oh, that sounds like
No, the
EcoBoost
Mustang sound.
ass.
No, the Mustang
No,
sounds
the
way
Mustang-
worse.
yeah,
Way worse.
it's-
Way
it's-
worse than my.
It's
have
like-
to-
it's
I
like
have
a
to
dying
say,
drone.
and I am an owner of one of those cars, and it's not just me saying that I love my car. I think the setup I have, I wish it was louder in that, but I think the setup that I have in my car is one of the best sounding EcoBoost motors that I've had. Besides the 1.6 Fiestas, because those things sound totally
I
different.
was gonna say, not exactly a high bar to clear. However, if your car were any louder than it is, it would sound, for every decibel it goes up,
They got
quality
one-
goes
yeah.
way down.
Yeah.
So it's you're
I was gonna
you're
say,
gonna
like,
you're pretty much
diminishing returns.
like this is kind of your scale where you're kind of
Yeah.
happy or medium. As it goes up, the sound quality it's
Yeah.
just you're gonna have a divergence.
I think my car sounds enough rally-ish. Still has some
the
of
rally
that.
ones still do the eco
It
part.
still has some of the
But
the
what?
pig sound.
My
to
question
it,
is,
but-
what did Ford do to the MZR engine to make it do that?
Had a full design.
Yep.
Oh,
You throw a big turbo on. Well quotations. You throw a big turbo.
No. Everything
our-
just came back. I remembered now. Yeah, so we share blocks, not heads.
So now the only way you can approximate the sound of yours over his, I believe, is to get the cylinder head from a Range Rover Evoque.
Yep.
Yeah, because the Evoque uses the M. It actually truly, because I've even seen two with my own eyes. I've seen
But
on the good one.
even with
They
that,
use the
if you
actual
do
MZR.
a big turbo set, what's a big turbo setup on my car is a fucking regular goddamn turbo, and because mine's just so fucking
Yeah,
small.
yours is an actual yours is a Mike-sized snail.
Yeah. You
And the
put-
big turbo is a Chris-sized snail.
Yeah, you put a
And now I'm
regular
getting
size
sad
nail
'cause
on
it's
it,
sitting
and
on my
that,
shelf at my house.
like
It's sitting there
sounds
staring
totally
at me every
different.
day.
Yeah,
but
it shouldn't be
also,
on the shelf. It should be on your car.
almost spent $200 on Marketplace this past week because I found a full HKS blow-off valve that's in with the piping and not with the block-off valve that blocks off the in-house fucking blow-off valve and makes it to where you actually have like a yes, $200 and
That would have been worth it.
I almost bought it.
That would have been worth
Yeah,
it.
I could make my car do Sudoku again, but like I'm lazy, so because I have that HKS blow off valve, but I used to run it recirculating, and you have to change the front of the blow off valve to do that, and then
Yeah,
I
see,
changed
mine's
it
actually
back to
like in the fucking housing.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
why,
Mine, no,
like,
mine goes right. It's normal. It goes in the
No,
intercooler
no,
pipe,
no,
but
mine's
I
not
changed it
normal.
back to vent the atmosphere, but I never changed the front of the blow off valve, so it's got this funnel coming off like a tube, and it makes it sound so like the thing is, it's unique.
No, mine's
It's like there's no other car that sounds how that one sounds. Because I was thinking about changing it back because I missed the. But I'm like, you know what? The way it sounds right now is just fucking cool, and I like that.
Yeah, no, mine's straight back into.
This is full recirc.
Yeah, full recirc.
Vent atmosphere, and you
I want that. I want that so bad.
Gas
because
dump,
also
shotgun blast, blow Chris's eardrums out.
Speaking of that, that actually happened to me. Not this week, this past week, coming through Denellen. I'm sitting there, I'm driving next to a few people, and I heard this. I was in my car, and I heard this pop, pop, pop behind me, and I didn't think much about it. I was like, it sounded like a gunshot. That was loud.
It was Dan.
I go to turn to Publix, and just as I'm turning into Publix and slow down, an RV, an older Ford RV, very similar to the one Jeremy Clarkson drove in the Grand Tour, goes by me, and when I say this thing went off and deafened me, I mean it deafened me. Like for 2 minutes, I didn't hear.
That's sort of a technical question. Chris did not bring the computer, so Dan brought the computer.
Yeah.
So
the man who brings the computer controls the computer. So Dan sits over there.
So Dan is controlling the computer, and Chris gets to sit over there and ignore the chat.
You've ignited me back again to where I'm thinking more about mine. Mine does the same thing.
No, this makes yours sound quiet.
Oh. No, not my car. Not my car. My RV. I don't know. It's probably a timing thing.
Dan,
that's why he said that. Not, no, I didn't because I know I need to talk to the poor guy. I need to go do more stuff.
But yeah, so that's our.
Even if you just go stand in front of it and go, nothing's new.
No,
I'm trying to buy my house so I can bring my RV to my house.
Reply to the comment because we got 22,000 fucking people that have seen that shit.
I feel bad, but my RV. I don't know why, but like freaking Geo's BMW anti-lag letting off the gas. My RV does pop 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 pop, and it sounds like somebody shooting a gun.
It was just one big boom. He had that exhaust pipe lined up with my window, and I mean, for 2 minutes, I'm sitting there going,
"That was like I did that, and I did that to you once." I
trying to get my hearing back.
It's just not that loud.
It wasn't nearly as loud as your car.
No, but
your car was way quieter.
It was
so bad.
But that one time, I literally just came up next to Chris and was idling, and I looked over at Chris, and then I just looked back, and it went boom, and Chris is.
Oh, it did. It got me. I was like, oh, shit. What was that?
Sorry. I didn't try. It just does that.
Speaking of loud, crazy, exhausty, noisy things, something weird happened while I was up in Gainesville. One, I saw cool cars up there on Saturday, which it never happens. But also, while I was sitting at Famous Burrito, sitting outside enjoying my burrito and my chips and queso and everything else, some guy in a V10 Audi R8 right at the corner of 34th and University, 0 fucks given, full send.
Nice.
Just
Lamborghini.
I've never seen anybody in Gainesville do any of that.
Full send.
So the only thing that would have been cooler with that RV is if the smoke ring came out like a smoke ring.
Right.
That would have been great.
That'd be cool. And mine's got.
And there was a British guy on top going,
Power! Cheerio.
Like that fucking Mini that we saw today.
Yeah, British guy, bought a US spec Mini Cooper S.
Which out of 6 million of that body style built was only 1,200 S's actually built.
He converted it back to right-hand drive. He restored it and converted it back to right-hand drive.
As one does.
It's got the full 1 liter Harding crank.
Hardened gear set.
It's like an old one?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was the 67.
Fuck
67.
Like Rover era?
Like
Is that the one at the show?
Or Boston or whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't look that
like
closely at it, but
it was nice.
The Gator Nationals was last weekend, as Mike is mentioning.
yes.
One of my coworkers got to go, and he brought his wife, and she never got to go before. And she didn't ever do any kind of event.
Baptized in nitro. Baptized in nitro.
He said she did the.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
and
yeah.
Pepper spray in your face, and you're like, I can't breathe.
It's not even that. It's the sound. It's
I was
that,
gonna say pepper
that
spray. Go to a drift
shockwave
event, my
sound
God.
when it hits your chest.
Well, I've not gone to a Gator Nationals, and part of it is like with my skin, being out in the sun and having fuel sprayed all over me. I just don't think my skin can handle that.
Yeah.
We'd probably be bad.
Never been either myself.
But have you ever been to a Top Fuel drag race?
No,
Okay.
we've been to Gainesville to the track. He found the sand trap.
I can't describe to you the
It's an
sound
in-person thing.
of two of those cars going past you at full tilt, and
Yeah, you know what, Mike? You might be right, because I also saw a primered 40 Ford, a McLaren, a V12 Vanquish on that trip Saturday. And then yesterday, I saw a 73 Volvo 1800 ES shooting brake.
Ooh, really?
If you'd pay attention to the group message, you would have seen it.
I don't think that I
Boy.
did. So my fault. I saw a Toyota Aristo yesterday.
Oh,
I did.
Nice.
I at first I thought it was old Lexus over there, and then I noticed the person was sitting on the other side, and I was like, "Hey, wait a minute, you're a friend." Oh my God, it's orange! It's even orange!
So,
Oh,
orange. That's black.
no.
oh, the car! Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
So I gotta say,
That's when a Volvo was
Oh.
a Volvo.
Yeah.
this is one of my favorite beers. I got turned on to
Maybe
this
it is
from my brother-in-law Ryan's, who we've had a shit ton of beers that he has given us. Dewclaw used to only be up in Northeast, and they have in the last 6 years finally moved down to the southern states. We have not had Sweet Baby Jesus on our show. We
Yeah,
have done
for Pete's sake. I did
which
not
is
like that one.
the same thing, but instead of what is this, like a 5?
Yeah. For Pete's sake was one I brought. I was not a fan.
So this is 6.2. That for Pete's sake was a 10 something.
Yeah.
Sweet
that.
Baby Jesus is savvy, yummy.
But
We shall see.
this is one of my favorite peanut butter chocolate beers
And I will do a
because
salute on this one
it's just
this beer-
awesome.
This is like dessert right here.
Well, and then also their dirty little thing to
Dessert.
like a.
It is. It's like dessert. It
Cheers.
really is.
Call it Puma.
Okay, I don't hate that.
No,
I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
It's been so long.
It's better than the
since
Swamp
I've
Head that we had.
Yeah,
had
Yeah.
this.
but it's one of those
Mm.
though. For Pete's sake, was almost double the alcohol. This is one of my favorite beers.
The peanut butter is nice and not overwhelming.
Yep, and also the chocolate is not super milk chocolatey. It's almost dark chocolate.
I'm getting.
It's like
I'm,
dark
I'm, I'm
chocolate.
getting a bitter finish. That's
Yep.
a little.
The dark chocolate's the better.
That's
finish.
dark
Yep.
chocolate. Yeah.
It's cocoa. It's cocoa.
Also, when it gets time, I have two things. One from Bring a Trailer and one from Cars and Bids. I just want to show you guys
Yeah,
via the TV just for fun.
yeah, because I had other things going on and kind of forgot to do an auction car this morning and wasn't able to this afternoon. So,
Well, one car. Well, actually, both these cars are active, so this is
oh,
going to be.
current going.
Yes,
Oh,
this will be
interesting.
even more interesting. So, one's the vehicle I think has not got recognition that it needs to with how soon the auction's coming to an end, and another vehicle is one of those. Today I learned that, and I think maybe if I'm lucky, it'll be a today you learn that too because I think it's a really cool car. But that will be, another 20 minutes or so. But
well, since
Beer list
Well-
updated.
since both of y'all drove the car, since y'all been in it with the old tires and all that. How'd you like the car?
Loved it.
like I
Car's
said,
great,
a
man.
fucking 10 time. Honestly, it's a mass improvement. It's way smoother than it
Now,
was
did you take it
before.
far enough down there to hit the
Well, he
nasty
said he
bumps and
said
stuff?
he
Yeah,
had-
no, yeah. I took it over the bumps down there, and then I went around, and there was I got to Mexico down there, and some kids on bicycles stopped, and they were like doing this. So then I might have done some action to where things went at an angle and whatnot, and straightened out.
So you discovered slip angle in a Fox body.
I've known it. I've known that. Just experiencing it with the nice new tires. Very beautiful. Car was crisp. Came back out, went onto the highway in Mexico, got up to
Good,
about
because I
70.
haven't even done that.
And cruised at 70 for a solid almost minute. It was like driving a brand new car.
Yeah.
Except for the funny steering, because it's a little funny because the car from the 80s, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
especially
which I thought was the alignment, but then looking at the wheels, looking at the
probably
tires,
pushing
like
something. It's
no,
probably
no, it's just
in the
Fox
steering.
body.
It's Fox body.
It's
thing.
just Fox
Yeah.
body.
But compared to the last time I drove it too, like so much nicer. Those tires made, and also
Well,
too,
with-
I can tell them brakes have been dragging for a while. I could tell a big difference in that too with rolling resistance. I did a lot of coasting too in my little short time. Primo.
And then
Well,
also,
like I
fixed
told
the exhaust
him,
leak like 80%.
Yeah,
like,
and like
so-
I told
Couldn't hear
him,
that in the car.
like I said to
That was-
him when he was driving it, now that the tires are sorted and they're not dried out chunks of garbage, you can actually feel the new shocks that we put in do shock things.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that was nice too, not hearing the constant
Yeah.
inside the car from the exhaust.
Which
But,
I still don't. There's a little bit there. I need to figure that out. But for the most part, 80%
I mean, at
of
this
it's on.
point, you almost just pull the H pipe out and just
No,
smear
it's not there. It's in the engine bay. It has to be something with the headers.
Well, like I said, it could be where the ball and socket goes on. If you pull everything apart and smear a little exhaust paste into everything, slap back together, it might.
I
Set you off.
got that as much as it is. It's either
Probably
the
manifold gaskets then.
either the new gasket yacked itself again, and which that's what I'm leaning towards. I think the
Yeah,
new
maybe.
gasket yacked itself again because I tightened the balls as much as I could, and I mean I got some turns on it. Also, I tightened up both O2 sensors, and I got a turn and a half on both of them, and that quieted it down and also stopped a lot of my fucking issues I was having because it's reading correct.
Yeah, the car will have a lot of issues because it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it did really good in the fucking track. So when we went to cruisers, to the cruising tonight,
You should post a little video of my flyby.
we sat for what 20 minutes or
Oh yeah,
whatever,
we were just
and
20 minutes
dead-
pulling
dead
in there,
stop
and it was
just
just sitting and idling.
and I hate that I have a 160 thermostat in there, but during
Not
this,
today, you didn't.
I did not because goddamn that thing stayed at a perfect temperature. It would be like and then it's going down. And I'm like, this is great. The
But
only thing-
we got up to a certain point and we were stopped, and Mike was in the worst place to be. He was between two buildings on the west side,
So I
we
got
had the sun
sun
coming
this
into the
way.
car.
Oh.
but
He also had the reflection of the sun off the glass windows of the courthouse coming in this
and
side.
the courthouse has almost that same effect that fucking
That
building
building in London.
has.
Yeah.
And it's all
Much lesser
windows.
degree.
So I just had both ways, and I'm stopped there for 15 minutes, and I'm like, I'm dying, I'm burning, I literally had to take my phone out of my pocket.
No, you're not.
No, I had to take my phone out of my pocket and put it in the center console because my phone was starting to get so hot, where it was starting to be like overheating, and I'm like, yep, nope.
Yeah, like I said, those windows of the courthouse, like when you walk past there, you can feel the heat coming off of those things. I mean, you can feel it.
But
But yeah, he was stuck there.
the only thing that happened was the TPI, just
TFI,
TFI.
thick film ignition module.
Started to, and which on Fox Price they do, started to get a little warm, and that and
One way you
caused-
can help that is you can unbolt it and slide it loose, clean all the old transfer paste off of it, and redo all the new transfer paste on it. That'll help.
But, it was one
But
of
I
those-
actually had mine on my Fox body. Mine actually fried and left me stranded at 41 in Munden Hill Road, so I had to have it towed back from Brooksville.
That's a common thing, and when it starts to get hot.
Oh yeah, there was actually
your
a
idle starts to surge, and I was going 800, 400, 800, 400, 1,000, 400, 1,000, 400, 1,000, 400.
yeah. It makes it feel like your TPS is failing. It makes it feel like your fuel pump's failing. It does all kinds of weird shit. There was actually a class action lawsuit over that. And right after I had sold my car, I got a letter in the mail saying, "Hey, if you've had a failure with thick film ignition module, send us your receipts and you'll probably get a check." So I'm like, all right. So I dug up and found the receipts for the parts that I bought, little time at the machine shop to press the gear off, and my tow bill. Made copies of the receipts, then sent it in, and a couple months later, got a check in the mail.
So that was the thing.
So-
But besides that, once it cooled down,
You want to check out the cars?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Put them up.
All right. All right. So, like I said, both of these are currently active.
I thought you guys would have already had these like up and ready to go, but
No, because
slacking over here, man.
Yeah. You know it.
Jeez. This guy,
This is why I run the computer.
not wrong.
Generally,
Generally.
bring a
Button type it.
really.
www.
Sent that to Brian a while back.
Oh.
I
It's
can't.
in Groveland.
Which one was that one?
The Renault.
Oh yeah.
While
That's
he's
cool.
goofing off this, I want to circle back to the new Dodge Charger.
Circle back, you said?
Yeah,
Sure thing, Jen.
I just want to swing back around. Make a U-turn on this conversation street.
That was a reference to former press secretary Jen Psaki. She liked to circle back to everything.
Is anybody seeing like the styling of that car? Like it invokes like crappy 80s
Yes.
Italian car vibes.
Which one?
The new Chargers.
Yeah.
Kinda, but I
like.
There's just something weird looking about.
well,
them.
the
I do
problem
not like them.
the problem is they're calling it Charger and they're making it a two-door again. Great. But if you look at the nose of it, they're trying to kind of go 68, 69 Charger front end, and they're bringing back that 70s era
Coke bottle.
triangle
Yeah.
emblem
Shit,
thing going
yeah.
on, but they're trying to modernize it. But then when you really look at like the roof line, the midsection between the A and B pillar, you can see where that car is going to end up being a four-door as well.
Mhm.
And
There's-
also
you can
maybe
see-
a
you can see-
five-door hatch.
I actually think the way it is right now is going to be a three-door hatch.
It's more
But-
notchy than the 68, 69 was more.
It just
tapered.
looks terrible though. Like,
Yeah, from
that
the
is
side
hideous.
profile, you can tell it seems like they want to have a two-door and a four-door out of the same shell, same roof line, same distance between wheelbase and everything else. It's kind of like, and it's throwing the proportions off.
Well, did you
Right.
see the interesting thing was the electric one gets that hood
Through
through,
the
through
grill.
like
Yeah,
kind of like
the
the,
heat
GT4,
extractor.
the new GT does.
Modified
Like a heat
2014
extractor.
Heat
Ram
extractor kind of thing,
1500
where
sport
the
crew
standard
cab
car
4x4.
gets the grill for
Alright.
the radiator.
Yeah.
Why is that only at $2,500?
So I've been following this because when I left work today, it was only at 1,000, and it's no reserve. It's a 14 Ram 1500 crew cab 4x4, 90,000 original miles, and it has
That looks AI generated.
a fully built motor and transmission,
Or photoshopped into a different background.
and it's on coilovers and everything, and it's in very good shape.
Are we sure?
One, don't buy someone else's project.
So it's fully
However-
built because it broke a piston,
Yep.
and they had to rebuild it.
Well, that's a Hemi thing. That's a
And
normal
then
thing with them.
also, hey, it's a Dodge thing.
Check out
so-
that. Whoa.
transmission.
Back the other way, please. Back the other way, please.
Well, it takes a minute. It
Reverse
takes a
a
minute.
por
It takes a
favor.
minute.
A little more. A little more. Stop.
Well,
Check out that Merc right there.
oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
See?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is that
But like,
Look
I'm
at
just
the
saying,
like,
like,
like a
Weird.
grocer. It's almost like a grocer.
Yeah, it's a two-door, it looks like.
Yeah,
something
did
Maybe
you,
a hard top,
did you also
removable
get,
hard top.
anyway, the thing sounds nasty. It's got all kinds of stuff done to it, and it's got 3 days left in it, no reserve, and still only at $2,500. Even if this truck had a motor that barely ran,
It'd be
Oh,
worth
it's
$2,500.
totally worth it. I'm going to say it ends at 17.7. That's my guess of where it ends.
So we're gonna have to double check on this for
Oh,
next episode.
because I'm curious. And honestly, too, like if this comes to one day and not
That's
much
what I
time
think-
left, I'm tossing in a $5,000 bid. I'm just saying.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be probably the last hour or the
Yeah,
last 30
everyone's
minutes
gonna
of it.
jump
Everyone's going to
if you
jump in.
heard this
eBay
thing
bid.
running too, it's nasty. And he's got all the receipts for everything, fully built transmission, still 4-wheel drive, everything works, and all that. And
You know
it's
what's
also
still
got like the
cheaper?
Huh?
Currently, still with only 4 days left, Crown Vic is only at 1,300. So no one has bid on it yet.
Unfortunately,
I know that one's
the
but,
gold one only went for
I
1,600,
know.
and I'm kicking myself for
I
not
know, but-
bidding on that one.
But this one, seriously, 1,300. No one's bid on it yet.
It is kind of a pile.
Are you
It,
willing to
it,
bid
look
on
it,
Anybody can. Anybody can.
just
gotta
go on
make
just
a
go on the
profile.
Citrus School Board auction website, register
I-
it, and off you go.
That's all you gotta do.
I do not have $1,300.
So it does look like the can may have pissed in the front seat though.
On
Saying.
today's
Was
episode, if I did not know it existed.
Like 1,000, 100,000.
I don't know if you guys knew this existed either, but in Doug DeMira fashion, this is a 1998 Ford Telstar wagon.
It's a rebadged. I forgot. It's a rebadged some. It's a rebadged Japanese car, but I don't
That
remember
looks like
what
a
the
Subaru.
That's a Impreza wagon. That has to be Impreza wagon.
That's what it looks
yeah.
like.
That's an Impreza wagon.
Gotta be.
Like the
That-
taillights are a
yeah.
dead
It's
giveaway.
Canadian, so
No, this car actually it was auction or not auction imported through Canada.
oh,
This is a
oh, it is a
Japanese
right-hander. Oh yeah,
specific.
I see it.
Yeah, this is a
This was
Yeah.
only released in
I
Japan.
was gonna say it doesn't have a flappy head, so
It's unknown auto import.
and their beady little eyes.
we're
It
gonna
looks-
blame
You
Canada.
got some rad, 90s.
I know, but no,
wild
like
seats.
seriously,
What associations did Ford have? I knew they had Mazda.
they had Mazda, they had Jaguar, they had Land Rover.
What year is that thing?
98. And I'll let you guys know
That-
as soon as I
That looks
saw
Toyota-ish.
as soon as I saw one thing about
No,
this
not
car,
about it.
I knew what it
No,
was.
but
So,
that year,
and that
Toyota would
actually-
be with GM.
this
Yeah.
was the giveaway for me was the gauge cluster. But that's me being my nerdiness as soon as it goes there.
It's a Mazda.
That yeah.
Mazda. Yeah. Ford's.
A Mazda Capella.
Also,
this
AKA 3 was that the 323?
Is it the
Yeah, so-
2.5 V6 or the 2.3?
The 2.5. This is a Mazda Capella station wagon with the JDM 2.5.
That's the
KLZE
yeah,
motor.
I had that in a Mazda 626. And
And
that
that's when
was a fun little car I
That's the
had.
thing, if you look at the gauge cluster, and that's what threw me there too, because I had a Mazda 626 with that motor and it was manual.
Yeah.
That's a 626 gauge cluster. It's a,
Well,
this gauge is different. The other two are
looking
the
at
exact same.
looking at the motor, yeah. No.
I
Well,
love
yeah, no.
the seats.
Well,
Look
and
at
also
the
if you know the
90s.
probe,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what came in the probe too and everything. And
That was
I never knew this car existed.
That was for its time. I
Yeah,
raced my brother-in-law's 5-liter Mustang and beat him.
yeah, and that's like the
Yeah,
JDM
no,
motor. This motor came with 50 more horsepower than the one we got here. So this little, like, even though it's a station wagon, it spun to 8,000 RPM,
Oh.
and this thing was actually kind of nasty for
screamer.
its time. Yeah, exactly.
Sports wagon.
But
Well,
yeah,
also he's
I don't
the
know what
only
it's at
one
right
that
now.
has been on the Nürburgring.
it's at
It's
20
weird.
2350 with 3
one,
days
but
left.
both
It
Yeah.
E30.
An E30. There was a nice one, white one, that reminded me of the car I had for auction on Bring a Trailer a while back that they had on Car and Driver
Oh.
show, and I was like, oh, it was
Memories.
clean. It was so sweet. I was like, oh.
He's driven many cars on the ring.
I traded
Specifically an
two
E30.
different
Oh, yeah.
cars. I did an E46 and an E30. That's what I did on the ring.
All I gotta say is I am so glad I got to take Jan's little E30 out on Fort Island Trail for a short run.
That little
Even
thing,
though it was an
even though
automatic,
an
even though it was a
that's
wide
clutch
ratio
box,
gear set.
You know, how long has it been since you've been down to Zello?
Months.
Me has been
Been more recent though for you?
no,
3, 4, 5
probably
months.
I was gonna say the roads
8
deteriorated a lot.
Oh, the
Yeah.
road's been deteriorating for years.
I know,
dude,
but like
I've watched that road deteriorate for 30 years. I know.
No, I know, but like the thing
last
is like
the last time I went
there.
down that road, I had the Cobra taking it down. That
I
road.
went out there 2 weeks ago, and before that, I hadn't been out there in almost maybe 8 years. I'd never taken my car down there, so maybe 8, 9, 10 years. Yeah, that road's gotten bad,
Oh yeah, it's deteriorated.
but
I still have not been
still
down.
had a blast.
Still have not been down Fort Island since that incident.
Oh, the roadblock incident.
Yep.
I've been down. I've been down there a few times.
So it's been.
But I don't like I said. That road is so long and so sweeping. Yeah, you can go fast on it, but
It's still fun
going
to do
fast
speed
on that
limit
road doesn't do a lot for me.
it has
There's a
been-
few sections where if you get a clean run through a set of S's, that's fun. But then after you do the S's, a lot of it's just
Yeah, no, 11
It's a
years,
letdown,
I have not been down that road.
But yeah, no. So that was my little car action for you guys.
that was good. That was good. Interesting stuff.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
kind of make up for me being a slacker over here.
Trying to help. So.
Yeah, yeah, you did well.
Hey,
But
that
I,
Telstar was cool.
I think we
Yes.
did that. Yeah, and that if it was a manual, actually, like I don't know, even not, it's tickling me.
Oh yeah, and
I-
the other day I spotted a second gen F-150 Lightning, and then shortly afterwards a current F-150 Lightning rolled past me.
I saw a current one too. Actually,
That was actually the
I thought
first. That
about
was actually the first current Lightning I've seen in the wild since I drove the one last year.
The one I saw, it was leaving Wawa, and it was full of certain people. The truck was beat up, and it was towing a trailer and had a ladder rack on it. It was a
They're not
brand
towing
new
it very
Lightning.
far. Oh,
Well,
And I
they're
was-
giving those things away.
oh! I got to drive another something interesting.
Yeah,
1927 Buick T50 two-door sedan.
really?
Yes,
How was that?
very cool. This thing still had this thing was steel split rims on wooden spokes.
Hell yeah!
It's an older restoration. I figure it was restored probably 30-ish years ago, judging by the paint cracking and crazing. But fires up. It runs like a sewing machine. A little flathead four-banger, 3-speed dogleg crash box.
And they do.
Again, it had conventional pedal layout, but also had timing and throttle on the steering hub, so it made it easy for me to drive it. And it was, like I said, steering box had a lot of wear in it, so it wandered a lot, kind of like the T. It wasn't as tight as a Studebaker, but still another pre-war, full-fendered kind of old. And I never thought about those cars a whole lot before, other than just knowing where they kind of were in history, but now I've experienced them. Yeah.
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 See the
Well-
04 Cadillac there tonight?
So,
Yes, I
With the
saw.
umbrella roof?
Okay,
no,
so
but it was
yeah.
one of those. He was next to me in our long ass 30-minute line, and that entire time I'm like, "Fuck, did my exhaust leak happen again?" No, I'm next to the Cadillac.
So
Oh yeah,
a week or so ago, that car was at the cruiser show that we were judging, and so I stopped and talked to the guy, and I said, "Hey," I said, "what is this like to drive compared to a Model T?" And he looked at me. I was like, "I have driven a Model T." He was like, "Oh, congratulations, those are hard."
Yeah.
He's like, "This is easier." I'm like, "Really?" So he actually took the time and went over and showed me all the controls and the pedals on it, and that thing's got variable valve timing on it. It's mechanical, of course.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a carburetor. It has a vacuum. It has a diaphragm that's connected to a needle and a seat. And as the piston goes down on the intake stroke, it pulls vacuum on that, and that lets the air go by, pull some fuel out, and
Yep.
then when the piston gets to the bottom of the stroke, the diaphragm snaps the needle and seat shut. And it goes,
Oh, what's the name for that? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
don't-
name for it.
but
yeah, correct injected.
kind of.
Sorry.
It's something like draft injection or something.
Yeah, but it's
like
all.
that.
But it's also, like I said, that's also an unrestored. Like I said, like the Studebaker that I drove is a completely unrestored car, and it's a 1904.
That's really
120 years old,
And
and it
still
still works.
doing
It
its
still
thing.
does what it was designed to do. So I mean that's not even so much a pre-war car. That is a brass era car.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean that thing's got
Yeah,
literal
that-
gas headlights on the front of it. I mean it's
Just saying, on the front of it, you could see the full on the drain,
the cooling coils. They look like copper pipe with confetti stuck to them. Just wrapping
it looks
wrapping
like
around.
an actual house radiator.
It's but again it was just they were all figuring it out at the time, and they were all coming up with different solutions to what they were trying to accomplish, and just the engineering that they were coming up with is amazing, really. No computers, and they were just making these things, and they work. And 120 years later, that one still
No, it's
works.
like-
I just have a hard time wrapping my head around that a little bit.
That is impressive that it works this
You know,
all those years later, still
yeah.
works.
Oh, and it still has the umbrella above. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't have a roof. It literally has an umbrella.
Right.
yeah.
An umbrella above it.
So like the Studebaker, that's 121 years old now. I mean, and after I drove it, I was thinking about that one, and you know, it's an unrestored car, just been maintained and repaired as needed over the years. And, you know, the owner of the car was thinking, like, yeah, you know, probably needs to be restored. It would cost about 20 grand, but then the car would still only be worth about 20 grand. So it's kind of like, and I looked at that and said, you know, does it really need to be restored? No. But then I was, you know, I cook on cast iron skillets that are 100 years old. That's a skillet. That's just a single chunk of metal. Mm-hmm. This is a whole ass car.
Right.
Still works and does car things. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. It really does point to the abilities and the talents, just the natural talents of all the people involved in those cars. Those people are long gone.
Right.
But what they made and what they did lives on. So I guess in a way, a piece of those people live on, and that is super cool.
At that point, it's even looking at like a lot of like the actual industrial like stuff, like all your machinery and all that. It's the same way of.
Oh yeah,
people
like have
engines and all that,
and
like,
then
they will run.
And then look at industrial equipment. You got Bridgeport mills that are 100 years old.
I was about to say, 100-year-old Bridgeport mill is still better than any new mill you could possibly buy.
Yeah, it's just
if you went and bought the newest, latest, and greatest one, that thing would be junk in 20 years. But that 100-year-old Bridgeport mill is still going to be working
at 120 years,
right?
Because
look
the basis of that Bridgeport mill.
Look at the Komatsu D355A.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean, the basis of that Bridgeport mill is a gigantic chunk of cast iron,
right?
A gigantic chunk of metal that everything else is fitted to.
And no current manufacturer would go, well, I'll just make it out of cast iron because it'll last 120 years. They're going, nah, we don't need to make it that strong.
Yeah,
we can just make it out of sheet metal. It'll be fine.
Back then, it went from it was an appliance to it's a throwaway appliance. These are livelihoods. We're gonna make it, last as long as we can.
Well, it really to me it boils down more to, now we have computer aided design and we can computer prototype something to an exacting spec.
Yeah.
They didn't have that exacting spec. They were going, we need to make this really strong.
Yes.
So we're going to build it as strong as we can so that we hope that it lasts because we want to make a quality product.
Yes.
Companies today don't make quality products. They want you to buy another.
I think right now the most visible way to see the aftermath of that attitude is Boeing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
God.
I just watched a whole episode of
be careful, we might not all be here soon.
Talk about Boeing.
Yeah, exactly.
They basically interviewed the guys building and said, "Would you fly on this?" They said, "Hell no." It was a 737 Max, Super Max, or whatever.
Well, no, because Boeing used to be the thing. I mean, Jack Boeing was basically like, if it's not good, we're not sending it out.
Right.
We're not doing it.
Yeah.
And so much that it became, if it ain't Boeing, I ain't going. And then at some point, Boeing,
when they merged with
McDonnell Douglas. McDonnell Douglas had a lot of quality issues because they were the company that was chasing profits at all costs. And then the two visions or cultures, if you will, as much as I hate to use that word, two cultures that cannot exist together.
Right.
And these guys slashed and burned these guys. And ultimately, when they decided to move the headquarters of Boeing from Seattle to Chicago, done.
Yep.
All over. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, we have a doggo on set because
on that,
we love doggos.
I'm thinking on that note, though, I think it might be a solid ending.
Yeah.
That could be a solid
I
ending.
think it could be a solid ending. And in 2 weeks,
lady,
we will see you guys again.
Okay.
More topic, more
Y'all
beer,
come back.
more things,
Yes, we will definitely have
proper equipment.
we'll have
we
more-
have semi-proper equipment.
we'll have more stuff going on.
Definitely more stuff. For sure.
Yeah, we'll do this a lot of the same stuff really.
and at
For
that
the most
point,
part.
the 86 will have 400 miles on it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Have
Yeah,
a good night, guys.
Yes.
Have
See you
a
next
good
time.
night.
Take
See you
care.
next time.
Peace.
Sláinte.